What's up, guys? It's Jason from Poor Dads, Poor Ways. I'm here to talk to you about a necessary tool that some of you probably have and some of you may be thinking about getting. But whether you just do a little bit of cleanup around your place, or you're like me and you cut cordwood to burn for heat in the winter, you're going to have to deal with sharpening your saw sometimes, and it can really determine whether you have a love-hate relationship with that saw, and which direction it goes, more love or hate. But today I've got 5 tips for you that have really helped me get better at sharpening my saw and keeping a sharper saw, that have made me love my saw a little bit more and not want to throw it in the trash. The first thing though is start with a good quality chain. I really like Oregon brand. You know, not all chains are created equal in my opinion. I have a steel dealer in my hometown who I buy my saws and power equipment from, and they sell steel brand chains, and I don't particularly like them for a couple of reasons. One, I don't think that they hold an edge as long as the Oregon chains do. The other thing that I like about the Oregon chains is, I hope you can see this, but on top of the tooth right there, it'll focus, there's a little etched line right there, and that's really, it serves as 2 purposes for me. That's my angle to file on, and I'll show you more about that later on, but that's also my goal for sharpening that chain. I want to get the full use out of that chain, and when you get back to that line, you've used all of it. You've got all the good out of it, and that should be your goal when you buy that chain. It's a $20 item, but I need to get all that $20 out of it. I don't need to use it, sharpen it one time, not like how it's cutting, take it off, throw it away, and go spend another 20 bucks, because you can blow through $20 bills pretty quick, or I can anyway, the way my luck goes. So that's number 1, start with a good chain. Number 2, for all of your filing purposes, your friend is going to be consistency. All right, and one of the ways that I'm consistent in filing my saw is using a vise. It stabilizes it. It will, if you have one on a bench, it'll get it up off of the ground. Okay, it'll get it in a more comfortable position. I am a lot better at filing on this side of the saw this way. Now, when it comes to the other side of the chain, I'm not good with my left hand. So what I have to do is, if I can do this, well, I can't do it, but is turn the saw. So now I'm filing like this across the saw, and with the saw steady one way or the other on either side of the chain, I'm more likely to be consistent. Okay, if you're out in the field and you don't have access to this vise or whatever you got, they make what is called a stump vise, and I'll try to get throw a picture up there for you to see it. I'll also link one in the comments, in the description down there. But it's the stability that lets you get consistent with filing, and that's going to be your friend. Number 3 is get yourself a sharpening guide, and I suggest this one right here. It's made by Husqvarna. It is particular to the size chain. Okay, this is a 3/8 chain. If you're unsure of what size chain that you're running, 3/8 is probably what you're running, unless it's a little bit smaller. But you can look on your bar, and it gives you the size chain, the number of drivers, the length of the bar. You can also use this information to buy your next chain. If you're unsure, you can go into the store and maybe look like you know what you're talking about. But this file right here, this file guide, excuse me, it's got rollers, and those rollers are what your file runs across. It's got notches on the sides here and here, and that allows you to get both sides of the chain. I'm gonna put this on here and let you see exactly how it works. this kind of changed the game for me. I seen a guy that had this, and man, I was like, I gotta get one. So you see that it sits down on the back here, on the front here. You're gonna make sure that it's flush, and then you're gonna take your file and you get right down in there, and you're gonna file like you normally do. And you can keep, excuse me, you can keep your file in line with that mark right there on every tooth, and it allows you to get your teeth even, okay, and be consistent. Now when you get ready to go to the other side, all you have to do is flip it around, and now you are filing from the other side, okay? That's not too hard. It will keep you extremely consistent as long as you keep your tooth depth consistent on every tooth. That's this thing right here is what really helps me. There are other file guides out there made by other companies, still has some, but this Husqvarna one, it really changed the game for me. Yeah, if I lose this one, I'll be getting another one as soon as I can. But pick one up. I don't even think it was 20 bucks. It has a guide for filing your depth gauges, but I don't go by it yet. So you can try it if you want. It's got the instructions on the back of the pack to do that. My fourth tip is keep a good file, okay? These are consumable products, just like the chain, just like your bar. This doesn't last forever. When this file stops cutting, it is no good to you, okay? If it won't cut, throw it, get another one, okay? That is another thing that when I first started filing, I did not do that as good. I would sit there and wear myself out trying to file a saw with a old, worn out file and wouldn't get the result that I wanted, and then get aggravated. So given that in the conditions that I'm already in, hot, sweaty, tired, my back is hurting, my arms are hurting from running a dull saw, it doesn't make for a very good mood for Dad, okay? One more thing, I like organ files. I like the organ products, bars, chains, files. You can also get yourself a good flat file. We're going to talk about what you do with that right now. The fifth tip is know what these depth gauges are for. Let me get something to point with. This part of the tooth right here, okay? How far down this is filed lets this tooth eat more, if you want to say it like that, or cut more. If you don't keep up with your depth gauges, or some people call them rakers or something like that, what you end up with is a sharp tooth that, because these rakers aren't, or depth gauges aren't brought down low enough, that sharp tooth can't bite into it, okay? But if you remove too much of that depth gauge, it's going to allow a bigger bite. And if you don't have a super sharp saw and a bigger saw to pull that through the material, you're going to have kickback and you're going to damage your saw possibly. You'll end up breaking the sprocket in there, or maybe the chain. I've never seen that happen on smaller saws, but it's possible. But it can definitely hurt you, especially if you're cutting underneath something, because when it cuts, that tooth bites in and doesn't pull through the material, it's going to shove that saw back to you, which is possibly dangerous to you. So know about that. But what your goal is here, you know what a saw cuts like with a brand new chain, okay? I like it just a little bit better than that out of the box. As a matter of fact, I'll take a brand new chain, put it on my saw, and just one smooth motion, take just a shave off with my flat file. Just one rake, one push across there. You can look at the depth gauge and see that you've cut some. You do that on every one of them. And what you'll find is you've got a sharp tooth, you've got a lower depth gauge. That saw is going to pull itself into that material. Not a lot, but you won't have to sit there and put pressure on it. If you're finding yourself putting pressure and you can feel the handlebar flexing a lot, or you have the desire to use it like a handsaw, reevaluate what you're doing, okay? Because you're working yourself unnecessarily with your machine there, okay? There's nothing better than a good sharp saw that is working for you. And on the flip side of that, there's nothing worse than a saw that's making you work. If you're having to strain to make it cut, that's not a fun day. All right. That was the 5 tips that I've got that helped me. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I hope that it helps you. Like I said, it helped me. But give them a try. Let me know in the comments down there. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and be safe, and God bless.